Okay, September 26th. Let's start the yard tour before I get all that yard work done. So yes, I need to get some more organizing done here. Sadly, this thing is wearing out, so we're going to have to do some renos before the winter comes, because we're going to eventually change that stand, but it didn't happen this year. Rosa Sharon here is pretty much done, as is the Wigalia. There were just a few branches that bloomed the second time. We've got a pokeweed that planted itself here. The bird bath didn't get painted, didn't get moved, but you know, next year. Lamb's ears starting to come back. It's the one thing with this weather, up and down, cold, warm. All the grains I may end up taking down. I've done it before for the birds, and it's funny. They seem to prefer to pick their own and try and land on them, but you can see it's tall, so we'll see. Anemones still blooming. Looks like my hibiscus might give me some more flowers. Let's see what the weather does. There's some new growth on the top there. And yeah, a nice bumper crop of grains. So hopefully the birds enjoy it. I just put the bird seed out, so the little ones are here. This area, I'm surprised. All the straw is still here. Rosa Sharon spreading out. Bumper crop of pokeweed. Roses, of course, all done. Several new sumacs that I'm going to be keeping. I will have to move this one, and I think these two, but we'll see what I decide next year. My hydrangea just had a few blooms this year, nothing like the bumper crop of last year, so we'll see what next year brings. And then I need to get all of this dried yard waste moved. My little butternut squash is still fighting, so we'll see what the weather's like in the next bit. The hollies are finally growing, so I guess I finally found a good spot for them. And I need to take out that maple. And this has completely changed from what the plans were. That's just old stuff snapping under my feet as I come through. You remember this was all in the sun earlier. Now it's in the shade as the sumacs have spread over. So I'll either have to decide if I'm going to move, repurpose. I'll have to figure it out. The roses are all done. Anemones, not so many back here. So I need to come up with an idea for shade, because I'm definitely leaving these trees here. I'm going to leave the lilac here because it's finished blooming before this sumac ends up growing. I have that there so the squirrels can easily get up. My composters are still back here in the shade, so I definitely need to move them. You can see there's been a lot of excavation here, so I need to get some of that dirt moved from there, and different things figured out under the Katani aster. But a much bigger shade area, which is okay. It just means I need to rethink the plants I'm going to put there. And the Katani aster, different tree that, no, I didn't plant it, and the elderberries, I didn't plant those either. So I need to come up with what I'm going to do there. The Hicks yew, full of red berries. Hopefully someone enjoys those. They do grow beautifully and quick. The lilacs, the shelters, lots of different grains. The anemones have started blooming again, and I don't cut them back until the spring anyway. I need to move out this thistle that is done. And sadly, I didn't see any of the chickadees or finches on it. Lemon balm that didn't get moved. This area that didn't get finished, but that's okay. Ooh, I see one of my mallows have transplanted itself back here. So a bit of work to do here, and this tall ornamental grass is going to be moving next year, so I just need to cut down the dried stalks. But that gives you an idea of what this looks like before I get started on the yard work. And then I'll share, cardinal plants are all done, did get them tied up. Then I'll share what it looks like when I finally get out and get things done. And my earth dragon, that is something decided to play in the pot I was trying to grow a geranium in, so just need to get that moved off. The dragon wings are very happy on this side and this side. My one begonia is finished there. Chair Lily usually sleeps in. Have to decide some of the ornaments going back. Need to get this cleared and all along there to the gate. Some tomatoes that the groundhogs got to enjoy more than I did. So yeah, quite a bit of work to do when I finally get out here. This is what the jungle looks like right now. I have two little visitors. One eating seed, the other one just boogied off for some reason. So yes, this is all going to look very different in about a week and a bit, depending on when I can get out and what I get done. But I do love the privacy with all these trees, many that nature planted for me, all the sumacs, the elderberry, number of other trees. So it's pretty amazing. Same with the grains. Those likely came from all the bird seed that comes from Arva. I'll be doing an update with more information about the Arva mill soon. Something I did forget to point out when I was doing this back part, these two thistles were growing at the same time. Now, as you can see, the one is completely done and the other one has just started blooming, which is just, again, the plants are as confused as everybody else because they grew up at the same time. They should have bloomed, I would think, at the same time. Not one completely done and the other one just starting, but let me know down below, does that make sense to you or does that just seem wild? And the grapes are almost done. Nice bumper crop for the birds. I did try some and they're actually not as sour as I remember. And next year we're going to have a different stand here for them, so they'll be able to reach up, not quite to the house, and that should make it nice. I have to get this emptied, and I see a bunch of the moonflowers, a number of things have planted themselves, so I'll have to decide what to do with them. I have my stumps that were a gift for free. Always love that for my budget. And that'll be going to the Rose of Sharon and be some other stands. So over here, lilacs definitely have been done for quite a while. My little Rose of Sharon that I moved seemed to enjoy this shady spot and the new pot. Have to get the grass evened out next year there, and then I'll just have that strip to mow, a nice little pathway. Daisies are all done, some more grains. I see a mallow is about to come back up there. The euonymus is taking, growing and spreading. Creeping thyme, which I'm surprised it's not blooming anymore, but weather's been so crazy. The irises next year will be doing well, and that's where some of those stumps are going to be going. I see I have a purple Rose of Sharon about to bloom, bumper crop of pokeweed, my 5-foot goldenrod that feeds so many other bees and critters. More euonymus, and this is what I was hoping it would do, is start climbing up the other plants. My stand has been all covered. It works great for the tea roses, pretty pink, and now it's all covered with the dark purple pokeweed. Tansy here is pretty much done. And I say here because in the back it's starting to bloom. The goldenrod is just finishing up. Again, tansy, it's crazy. It's 5'4", some of it a bit taller than me. It's been a bizarre growing year. More pokeweed, so lots of free food for the birds. Again, that fits my budget beautifully. The Artemisia, which nicely takes up the space, and I don't have to worry about cutting or trimming it. Goldenrod in there. And even with the lack of rain, you can see how well everything's doing. The yew trees that we trimmed back a bit, still doing well. Need to get all this figured out. That'll be next year's project. The hostas and the maple. And then I definitely have to get down this side to get things cleared out. There's sweet pea, goldenrod, all kinds of stuff. The grapes we're going to be keeping, and we have a few things there for them to grow on. Sweet peas starting to grow again because this weather's just crazy, can't make up its mind. The lovage is starting to grow again, and it's the end of September, so that's not supposed to be happening. The front still nice and full. Anemones blooming. Trumpets are still blooming. And the tansy is still blooming. So like I said, it's weird. In the front, they're done, but here they're still blooming. This goldenrod is about to start. I mean, even the plants don't know what to do with this hot, cold, hot, cold. Lots of little blooms there waiting. Ground cover growing. Bee balm has been done for quite a while. That's where 1 or 2 of the stumps will be going. because I put the Rose of Sharon a bit higher instead of digging in. Some Rose of Sharon planted itself, and the hostas in the back. And I really don't want to take down those plants in the front right now because they still keep that area sheltered, because I know the cats lay in there, so I'll have to decide what I'm gonna do, whether I'll just leave them for the winter, and I may, because they're not doing any harm there. Then I've got my pumpkin plant that still has tons of blooms on it, but no little pumpkins. I don't know what that's all about, and if you've seen some of my pumpkin flower pictures, you know they get some pretty funny shapes, but like I said, so far I'm not really seeing any pumpkins taking shape, which makes me sad, especially since they did okay here in the front. The tomatoes, have got to enjoy some of them, so I know this did well in the front without having to be watered. One of the tomatoes has popped off. The geraniums were doing well in the pots and not needing much watering. My Celtic Hope. This Rose of Sharon's starting to bloom again. I tell you, everything's just confused. In here is the chicken and hens that I moved. I had changed the soil, but as you can see, other things moved in with it. I have a little skipper joining me here. And yeah, so we'll see what I decide to do in the front. Typically, I don't do much because the birds and the other critters will come and enjoy all the seeds. It's free food and free fits my budget nicely. The next update will be after my back decides to start playing nice and I can get some work done, and then I'll show you after I get it all completed.